Welcome to this explainer. Today we are going to take what usually feels like a completely dry, boring list of 100 grammar rules, and we are going to completely flip it on its head. Think about it. Every single time you speak, you're literally acting as a time traveler. You're transporting your listener to a very specific point in time. So we're moving past rote memorization today. Instead, we're going to look at English tenses not as these rigid academic constraints, but as the actual gears and levers we use to navigate reality. Okay, let's just dive right into our source material. What we've got here is a comprehensive analysis of 100 real-world English sentences. The source document painstakingly categorizes and decodes everyday statements, basically pulling back the curtain on why we choose certain verbs over others. We're going to use this exact framework to completely demystify how we communicate across time, taking everyday examples and revealing the structural magic underneath. Because 100 examples is a lot to digest all at once, we're keeping it simple and mapping out our journey into 4 clear stages. 1. Anchoring in the present. 2. A journey into the past. 3. Predicting the future. And 4. Mastering mixed tenses. Let's start right here with Section 1, Anchoring in the Present. Our source has this really beautiful way of analyzing the present perfect tense. It describes it as a kind of bridge. Specifically, a bridge of unfinished time, a life experience, or a past result that directly impacts right now. It's like sentence number 12 in our source. She has visited London twice. That tells us about a life experience without locking it down to a specific date. But hey, before we can cross that bridge connecting the past to right now, we first need to understand the solid ground we're currently standing on. Now, what's really fascinating about this is the juxtaposition. Look at sentence number 1. She drinks coffee every morning. That's a permanent habit, right? A daily routine. Now compare that with sentence number 7. She is staying with her aunt this week. That's a temporary arrangement. We instantly build this relatable character sketch just by shifting the tense. The simple present gives us the permanent foundation of who she is, while the present continuous gives us the temporary ongoing reality of what she is doing right now. It's a subtle shift, for sure, but it completely changes how the listener understands the situation. Having anchored ourselves, let's shift into reverse for Section 2, Journey into the Past. So, the absolutely crucial point here is why your choice of tense matters so deeply to what you actually mean. Take sentence 21. I went to the market yesterday. That's the simple past. Our source notes this is a completely finished action tied to a specific past time. It's over, done with, history. But contrast that with sentence 11. I have eaten lunch already. Here's that present perfect we talked about earlier. Yes, it's a past event, but the analysis points out it's a recent event that still heavily affects the present moment. Basically, the speaker is saying, I'm not hungry right now. Seeing them side by side like this shows you the precise analytical mechanics of English. You're not just giving facts, you're giving vital context. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates sentence 32 from the source. She had left before the meeting started. If you map out the past perfect tense as the past before the past, the whole sequence of events becomes instantly clear visually. Think about it. At 3 p.m., which is now, we're looking backwards. At 2 p.m., the meeting started. There's our simple past. But the past perfect, she had left, happened even further back, at 1 p.m. The tense itself does all the heavy lifting. It organizes the timeline for your listener so they know exactly who did what and precisely when without you ever having to explicitly state the actual times. All right, shifting gears, let's move to Section 3, Predicting the Future. Our source neatly categorizes the different ways we talk about the future into a highly practical system. And it gets wonderfully specific. When you use the simple future, like in sentence 41, I will call you later, the source defines this as a promise, or maybe a sudden intention. But if you shift to the be going to form, like sentence 46, I am going to visit my grandma, the analysis correctly identifies that as a planned decision. You already thought about it beforehand. And then check out the future continuous in sentence 51. I will be working at 10 p.m. This tense lets you visualize an action actively in progress at a specific future time. You are essentially teleporting your listener to 10 p.m. tomorrow and showing them a movie of you already sitting at your desk. Finally, we arrive at our last structural pillar, Section 4, Mastering Mixed Tenses. This is really where you transition from basic communication to true fluency. These rapid-fire examples direct from the source show how native speakers seamlessly travel through time in a single thought. They combine sequences of events and focus on durations that bridge entirely different timelines. Take sentence 83. By this time next year, I will have graduated. That's the future perfect. You're establishing a point in the future where an action is already in the past. It's wild. Or sentence 87, we had just left when the phone rang. That mixes the past perfect with the past simple to create instant dramatic tension. And finally, the absolute powerhouse of sentence 99, by 10 p.m., we will have been waiting for 5 hours. That is the future perfect continuous. It's a tense that projects into the future, looks back at an ongoing action, and measures its duration. It is highly complex, but man, is it incredibly precise. Mastering these tenses unlocks incredibly colorful, accurate, and evocative communication. You aren't just reciting rules anymore, you're crafting experiences. So I want to leave you with a challenge directly inspired by sentence 60 from our source material, utilizing that beautiful future perfect tense. By the time you wake up tomorrow, what will you have learned from this explainer? Really think about how you can use these tenses to shape your own narrative. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.